I'm Iva Zovko here with one of my favorite lenders to talk about what's going on in today's Northeast Florida market.
Hey everyone, I'm Matt Sapienza with Heroic Mortgage.
So, what are we seeing in today's market there's a lot of headlines, news, things going on right now. How do you feel about the things you're seeing?
Ultimately, and especially in the Northeast Florida, Jacksonville market, I mean, it's a lot healthier than it was a year ago. We're in a downward trending interest rate environment, which is getting a lot of people that were on the fence a lot more excited or even open to the fact that they could possibly purchase. Inventory's up probably a little bit, so there's a lot more options out there. And when interest rates come down, sellers are also considering making those listings active, and Jackson's growing. We have a ton of business opportunities coming in and a lot of employment options, so that ultimately stimulates and continues that growth.
Yeah, and definitely with builders, you're seeing a lot of new construction and just different things happening to help support the growth. What advice would you give to first-time home buyers kind of on the fence and looking in this market?
Typically, the first thing that I tell them is not to make everything an HGTV dream, right?
Okay.
Like a lot of people are looking for that perfect house, and ultimately, if it's their first property, they need to make sure that they are not overextending themselves, right?
Absolutely.
So a lot of times, my initial conversation would be, what are your expectations? What are you looking to accomplish with your first house? Like, how long are you planning on living there? And then we dive really deep into their budget, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes that's, hey, look, I have these things and I need to pay them down
Yeah.
ultimately so that I can afford that house, right?
Yeah.
So like that's something that's very, very big, and ultimately create that long-term plan.
Yeah.
Is it your goal to stay in here and then maybe even rent that property out at a later time, or use that property as a stepping stone where you're now building the equity? You can sell that and then pull it over to the new property. There's just a lot of different options, right? So
Absolutely.
um, those are a lot of the conversations that we're having right
Yeah, absolutely. And depending on the area here in Jacksonville, because it's so big, we really have to niche down to different markets and see what those are looking like, your equity growth, things like that. So that's where I come into play.
now.
What do you feel for homeowners selling right now, right? So you're seeing the interest rates come down. It's kind of one of those things where there is some competition, but from a lending perspective, how do you feel about that?
I mean, the more inventory that's out there, the better it is from a lending standpoint, because that gives our buyers more options,
Hmm.
something more that they can fall in love with. Or there's, like you said, Jacksonville, Northeast Florida, it's very pocketed,
Yeah,
where there's
absolutely.
different people want to be in this group, right? So
Hmm.
the more inventory that's available, the better. And ultimately, if you are able to have a house or another listing in there,
Hmm.
that could be the house that someone's been waiting for, right?
Absolutely.
So now that interest rates are coming down, the house that they're leaving and going into can be a little bit more affordable. So that's always good. But I also try to help them if I do talk to them where they're selling one house and buying another one, setting the expectations where you may have to give up something on the sale of your house as far as seller's concessions or buying the interest rate down.
Yeah.
In turn, you're eventually going to be that buyer, right?
Yeah.
So those things can't guarantee that they're going to be reciprocated, but if you go into it with that expectation, it helps move your property faster and ultimately go into it. So just helping manage some of those expectations, and those
Absolutely.
things will ultimately kind of even themselves out in the transaction. But it's getting a lot of people excited, which helps
It
me
is.
stay excited.
Yeah, I know. Well, the spring market is,
Hmm.
I'm super excited.
Hmm.
We're already seeing multiple offers
Oh
on
yeah.
some
Hmm.
properties, so I'm ready.
Competition's a good thing out here. That's for sure.
Yeah. So, bonus question.
Okay.
What is your favorite area in Northeast Florida and why?
Mine is probably anything on the intercoastal.
Okay.
We're my wife and I are big time fishermen,
Okay.
anglers, I guess you'd say. So anything that gets me on and around the water is a place where I personally like to be.
Fair enough. I have
Hmm.
some people I might need some information for.
Okay, yeah. Not giving away all
Um,
my secrets,
yeah.
but
Okay.
lending secrets I'll give out.
Okay. Well,
Fishing
perfect.
spots are another thing.
Fair enough. It's okay. That's your time.
Hmm.
So, well, thank you so much, and you'll be hearing more from us soon.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Gonna cut out my